Look around you. 1 in 8 of these women will be diagnosed with breast cancer in her lifetime. We need to support the National Breast Cancer Foundation because we need to do our part to help the foundation find a cure and provide accessible treatment to those in need. My grandmother was diagnosed with breast cancer when I was just a little girl. I personally saw the toll that it took on her body and all the stress that it caused her. But I also saw how the foundation helped her and provided aid and information to her, and it made the world of difference. What better way to help these women get through this treatment and find a cure than to get involved and donate to the National Breast Cancer Foundation? Today I'm going to talk about the typical course of treatment after diagnosis. I'm going to talk about ways the community can help do their part in finding a cure, and I'm going to talk about the impact that our donation has on the foundation and the patients themselves. Let's first start off by talking about the typical course of treatment. When patients first get diagnosed, there are typically 5 different options of treatment. And according to the National Breast Cancer Organization, these treatment plans typically include surgery, radiation, hormone therapy, chemotherapy, and targeted therapies. The National Breast Cancer Foundation informs and prepares patients so they are confident going through their treatment. They work with hospitals to provide screenings and make them as accessible as possible for the patients. They provide aid with cost of treatment, fear of diagnosis, and misinformation so that the patients get treatment in a timely fashion. As a community, there are many ways that we can help the foundation reach their goal of 0 deaths from breast cancer by 2030. According to the AU National Breast Cancer Foundation, they provide patients with mammograms, patient navigation services, and breast health education services to women in need. One of their biggest goals is to provide the most accessible treatment so they can catch breast cancer at its earliest stages so that it's most treatable and they won't have to go through as long of a treatment process. There were 275,000 women in the U.S. this past year that were diagnosed with breast cancer, but through our donations and our volunteering, the foundation has been able to push the 5-year survival rate to 90%. Women often feel alone and in the dark throughout treatment because of the lack of information and support given to them. But we can change that by donating and volunteering so that we can help to make the foundation reach their other goal of making breast cancer history. Volunteers and donations are what make this foundation who they are. We make it possible for them to focus on key areas that help women before, during, and after their diagnosis. According to Charity Navigator, you can feel confident when donating to this organization because they received a score of 93.6 on Charity Navigator. You can donate by clicking the Give on their screen. Big or small, every donation impacts the foundation in a tremendous way, and it certainly improves the lives and the outlook of the patients that are going through this. Another way you can help get involved in this organization is volunteering. According to Great Nonprofits, this organization allows volunteers to make hope kits, breast health kits, and even write encouragement cards to the patients that are currently going through breast cancer. Another event that's huge for this foundation is called Ladies of Hope. It's held in Frisco, Texas on the second Friday of every month, and this is where volunteers can come together and write the hope encouragement cards, make the breast health kits and the hope kits, and they get to personally see what the foundation does and see what their donations are going towards and feel even more confident in the foundation. Now let's look at the impact that the National Breast Cancer Foundation has on the patients. Through the volunteering and donations, we can see the true effect of this foundation. They provide critical information to the women and families after diagnosis. They provide information about reducing risk, finding breast cancer early, access to screening programs, and eliminating barriers to those women in need so that they can get just the same amount of care. The National Breast Cancer Foundation is the biggest supporter of women empowering each other about their health. They support and provide information and amenities and opportunities throughout the treatment because of the volunteering and donations that you give. And according to Time Counts, the volunteering and the donations of this organization are truly what keeps them going, and it makes the patient's treatment so much more. In conclusion, the National Breast Cancer Foundation is an organization that we need to support because of everything it gives they give their patients, and how great of an organization it is. Today we talked about the course of treatment and the typical diagnosis that you would get when you're diagnosed with breast cancer. We talked about the way the communities can help and do their part to find a cure. And we talked about the benefits that our donations have on the patients and the foundation as a whole. If you are diagnosed with breast cancer, wouldn't you want all the opportunities and the information that this organization has to provide? I know that I certainly would. I encourage you to donate and get involved in whatever way you can so that we can help the National Breast Cancer Foundation find a cure and reach their goal of making breast cancer history. Thank you. Now I'm going to open up the floor to any questions in the audience. So one audience member is asking, why breast cancer? So why breast cancer is so important is because breast cancer is the #1 most common cancer in the U.S. today. This past year, there were 275,000 cases, and this coming year, there's projected 284,200 cases. It is one of the leading cancers in the U.S., and it's something that I believe that we need to put all of our volunteering and donations to so we can find a cure and help make it history. Thank you.